Welcome everyone to Crystal's Clearly Essential monthly team call. I am Angela Watkins with Everyday Oils, and Crystal has asked me to share today, so thank you, Crystal. She has asked me to share really about two separate topics, although they do really kind of support each other, so that's why we're discussing them together today. The first topic is doTERRA compliance, what to say and how to say it. And the second topic is about body systems and how to kind of problem solve how to use your oils and how to talk about your oils in a compliant way. So they do go together and they kind of support each other. So we're just going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so we've all talked about compliance, and if you're not familiar with compliance, you should definitely talk to your upline about it. It is important, and this is why we need to be compliant. There are actually laws and government regulations that describe the way that companies, not just doTERRA, lots of companies, how they are and how they are not allowed to market products, okay? It's about the marketing of the products. The regulations that are relevant to our business are those that govern disease claims and specific language that can only be used to market substances classified as drugs, whether that's over-the-counter or prescription. There is language that can only be used to describe these things, and the FDA regulates that. Freedom of speech does not apply to you when you have a financial interest in the product or in the company that you are promoting, okay? This type of speech is then classified as commercial speech by the government, and you are bound to those laws, okay? If you do not have a financial relationship with doTERRA, which means that you don't earn any commission from doTERRA ever, and you never have, then you have freedom of speech, and you really can say whatever you want, whenever you want, even if it's true or not true. But if you have a financial relationship with doTERRA, then your speech goes under commercial speech, and you are legally bound by what you can and cannot say about a product. So you cannot just say whatever you want to say, even if what you're saying is true, because you have a financial relationship with doTERRA. Okay, so this is important. It is about the laws and the way they are at this time. Making unapproved claims about doTERRA products when you have a financial responsibility or financial relationship with doTERRA is a liability, okay? It is a liability to you personally as a business owner. And let me give you an example of that. doTERRA does stand behind their products, the safety of their products, and the safety of their products when they are used as directed, okay? That's really important, because the only things that doTERRA is legally allowed to and is claiming that their products will do are things that are on the approved claims list, okay? The way that doTERRA is marketing their products. And the directions for use are important, because if you recommend that a product be used in a way that is what you would call off-label recommendation, right? Like, let's say, the bottle of lemon says that 1 drop is a serving of lemon. If you tell one of your customers to put 40 drops of lemon in their water because that's the way that you do it and that's what they should do, doTERRA is not legally going to extend their product liability in that case to you in your business, because you recommended that the product be used in a way that doTERRA does not recommend. And I hope that's clear. You have your own business. You do not work for doTERRA. If you recommend things outside of what doTERRA recommends, then you may be personally liable for anything that may or may not happen because of that recommendation. So when you make unapproved claims, it is a personal liability to your business, okay? And we want to stay under that umbrella of doTERRA's product liability, where we can say, oh, you used the product as directed and maybe you had a skin irritation. Okay, well, you know, here's what you can do to help with that. And doTERRA stands by the safety of their product. And so if something crazy happens, we need to go and tell them and say what's happening here. Okay, also, making unapproved claims does put doTERRA at risk. And we want doTERRA to continue because we love this product. We love the oils, we love their mission, we love what they're doing. And we love being able to have access to all of these things. And if we just say, well, I don't care, I'm going to say what I want to say, that reflects on doTERRA because you have a financial relationship with doTERRA. And it could be that doTERRA is actually the one that is hurt in the long run by claims that you make. And so we want to protect doTERRA, and they work very hard to protect us. And so we want to have a good working relationship. So just understand that making unapproved claims is a liability to you personally and to doTERRA as a company. Okay, so we do need to be compliant. We do need to work within the law and what the law allows. And what exactly does that mean? I'm not going to go on and on and on about what compliant language looks like because doTERRA has actually put out 2 really good resources that you can go and read. The Quick Claims Guide has a great list of do's, don'ts, some of the definitions for terms, and some examples, okay? The Approved Claims List, these are 2 separate documents, okay? The Approved Claims List is every single doTERRA product and a list of claims that you are allowed to make about that specific product, okay? So every single supplement, every single oil, every single blend, and there's a list after it on the approved claims list about what you can say about that product, okay? So these are great resources to help you to learn what you can say about our products. And I do encourage you to go and look at those, print them off, have them handy. They are handy. Okay, so you may be feeling with a lot of compliance things like, I can't say anything, or what do I do because I don't want to do the wrong thing. The bottom line is that we do want to keep sharing. We want to encourage you to keep sharing. In person, your focus needs to be on teaching about the product and building those relationships and working with people to help them to reach their health goals. You don't need to get too bogged down with language and what do I say and what do I not say. It's good to practice compliant language, but it's not like you're immediately fired if you say the word headache, okay? It's okay, especially in person when you're talking with people, to just be honest and just try to help them in the best way that you can and build those relationships, okay? It's not as crucial. However, when you are sharing about doTERRA and about our products online, it is very, very important to use only compliant language and terminology and compliant images, okay? doTERRA has extended a ton of examples of what this means and looks like and suggestions for how to share online in a compliant way, okay? On doTERRA.com, if you click on Wellness Advocates or Our Advocates, actually I think is what it says there's a whole section on social media assets. That's the link, okay? And there's a whole section on, There's a whole section on actual memes that you can share. And there's a quick claims list. There's a quick claims guide that is specifically about social media. There is a ton of resources from doTERRA. Use them. Use what is out there, okay? The doTERRA blog is a great thing to share online. There are actually 3 separate parts to the doTERRA blog. There's a product section, which is going to talk about all the different fun ways you can use the product. There's a business section that talks about all the great parts about doTERRA as a business. And there's a doTERRA science blog, which has all kinds of really cool scientific information about our oils. And it's scientific information that we are allowed to share. Because there is some scientific information that we have to be careful about sharing because it's about diseases, which is a good thing because we know that our oils are great for those things, but you can't always share it online, especially in those very obvious ways that links or implies that doTERRA is curing a disease. Okay, so we do want you to tell your story. There is actually a great PDF that was an activity, and you can do this with your team. Crystal can share the PDF in the file section. And the PDF is called Compliance Worksheet, okay? And it's going to take you through this process, and it's a great thing to practice for yourself, and it's a great thing to practice with your enrollees so that we can practice how do we share our stories online in a compliant way, okay? The first step is to just write out your story. Write out what amazing thing Lavender did, or what amazing thing Balance did, or what amazing thing the Lifelong Vitality Pack has done for you. Just tell it like you want to tell it, okay? Without trying to be compliant, just write out what amazing things happened, okay? The next step, though, is you're going to kind of dissect your story a little bit, and you're going to identify any health claims, the main claim that you're trying to make in your story, okay? An example of that would be you write your story, and the main idea you were taking from that story is that sunburns can be treated with lavender and helichrysum. These essential oils eliminate pain and heal blisters, okay? That is really what you're trying to say with your story. But some of the language in that sentence is not compliant. So the next step would be to identify the body system that is affected in your claim and the oils that you used. That example, in the example that we used, the body system is the skin. The oils that you used were lavender and helichrysum. Okay? Then the last step is that you're going to take those resources that you were given, the approved claims list, the quick claims guide, all of the online resources that we have, and you're going to rework what you said to express it in a compliant way. And then here's our example, and expressed in a compliant way. I use an after sun spray to help support healthy looking skin and to soothe minor skin irritations. I mix lavender and helichrysum essential oils with fractionated coconut oil in a spray bottle and use it as needed after a long day in the sun. That is a compliant way to express that lavender and helichrysum have really helped you after your skin has been exposed to the sun for long periods of time, okay? Most people are going to get the gist. And if they really don't get it, then they can call you and you can say, okay, it was a sunburn. But this is what you need to practice. Tell the story. Tweeze out the body system and what oils you made, and then use the approved terminology and the body system and the oils in a way that tells your story but compliantly. So we do want you to share. We do want you to tell your stories. We do want you to share all these success stories. You just need to practice how you say it so that we are sharing about doTERRA products in a way that is legal. Okay, that's important. Okay, next. The next topic then is body systems, essential oils for body systems. And the way that I describe this presentation is organization for critical thinking. And I like that subtopic, that subtitle, because that's really what it is. We have all these oils and we have all these things happening in our bodies, and we need to try to figure out the best way to problem solve what oils to use in what scenarios, not only for ourselves and our families, but our loved ones and our customers, so that we can help to guide them in how to use their product effectively. Okay? Okay, this is actually a picture. This is a picture from the Modern Essentials book. This is a resource that is a textbook. Of course, it's not a doTERRA textbook. It is a non-compliant resource, but it is a great resource, and it is a resource that, this is the Modern Essentials book. The Essential Life book has a very similar chart in the back of the book, okay? So both of these books have an appendix like this, the body systems chart, okay? And it might be hard to see, but we're going to go over it more. This is laying out different body systems, and it's just cross-referencing some of the different oils and products to which body system is affected, okay? So if you look at breathe, for example, you would go across and you would see, oh, the respiratory system is what is being affected by breathe, okay? Which is obvious, but it's not obvious for all the oils. Okay. So this appendix in either book is very, very powerful, and you should learn how to use it. Matching body system with the oil with some of the different products that can affect it. Let's say I know I want to affect the nervous system. I'm going to go to the nervous system, and I'm going to go down my list, and I'm going to see every product on this chart that can have a supporting effect or an effect on the nervous system. Deep blue is on there, the Z omega, the geranium. Okay, so we know what oils can have an effect on that system. Okay, the next chart is the oil properties appendix. This also is in both of the books, the Modern Essentials book and the Essential Life book. Okay, this essential oils property chart describes qualities that different oils possess, or properties, okay? Some of those properties are like antibacterial properties, or anti-inflammatory properties, or antiseptic properties, or antispasmodic properties, okay? And it's actually not just giving you whether or not this oil has that property, but how potently it has that property by the number of little crosses that are on this chart, okay? So Melaleuca, for example, has antibacterial properties pretty strongly and antifungal properties very strongly. You see it has four little crosses, okay? So this is also a very helpful chart. But the magic really comes when you blend these two charts together. And let me show you what that means. Okay. So you have your different body systems, and you have your different oil properties, okay? And yes, these terms, antibacterial, antidepressant, anti-inflammatory, these are not compliant terms. These are not the types of terms you want to use on social media. But the oils do possess these properties, and it's an important tool. It is an important tool for you to know which oils possess these properties, okay? So we're going to use an example that I have unfortunately had recent experience with. We're going to say that somebody has a skin irritation that they happen to know to be fungal, okay? Fungal skin irritation. So we're going to look in the body systems chart, and we're going to find an oil that can support the skin, right? Because this, the skin and hair are the system that we're trying to address. And if I go down my chart, I'm going to notice that, oh, Melaleuca is great for supporting that system. Okay, and then on my next chart, I'm going to go down to Melaleuca and also notice that it has potent antifungal properties. Okay, so what that is telling me is that Melaleuca is great for the skin and it has antifungal properties. So it's going to be a good choice for a fungal skin irritation. Okay, I hope you're starting to see how you can use these two charts together to really pinpoint which oil would be the best. If I have a whole list of oils that can support the skin or soothe the skin, okay, and then I can, off of that list, go over to my properties chart and say which one of those oils has the properties that I need. Okay, it's a very powerful tool. And because these terms, the properties terms, are not compliant, all you're going to do if you want to share your story online compliantly is to use some of those adjectives that can be used to describe what happened with that body system. Okay, so for example, if I wanted to share the example that I used online, I would simply say, Melaleuca essential oil really calmed my skin recently when I had an irritation. Okay, I'm not going to say calmed a fungal infection because that's a disease claim. That's a disease term. We can't say that, but we can say it calmed the skin irritation. Okay, online. In person, someone may know that the specific irritation was a fungal infection in a circular shape. Okay, so I'm just going to do a couple of more examples so you can kind of start to get the idea. Okay, so let's say I want to support my immune system because of a very common viral infection like a cold. Okay, so I'm going to look on the body systems chart and see what oils or blends are good at supporting the immune system. And then I'm going to cross-reference the properties chart and say, okay, what oils have antiviral properties? And I'll just tell you now, you're going to come up with On Guard. But you will come up with a couple of different choices, probably actually, of things that are not only in the immune system column, but also have antiviral properties. Okay? Another example might be for the digestive system. Let's say that you need antibacterial properties or antispasmodic properties, and an oil that has that property that also targets the digestive system. So you're just going to look on both charts and you're going to find which oil or blend to use. So, and then when you go to share it, just use words like support the immune system, support the muscles and joints, relieves irritation of the skin, relieves occasional feelings of pain or discomfort, calms the digestive system, calms the nervous system, improves the health of the nervous system, improves the health of the skin or immune system, soothes muscles and joints, soothes skin. Okay, these are ways that we can describe what happened. Okay, I also just wanted to add in that when you're considering body systems, you don't want to leave out the emotional aspect of life, okay? This image, actually, I found on Mercola website, and he was describing that they did a big research study that when people had certain emotions, different areas of their body they perceived to be affected, okay? And this chart is just showing what people reported. It's not an x-ray, it's not heat thermoimaging, it's just showing what people reported, that how they felt with different emotions. So if you look at the happiness one, you're getting a lot up at the head and chest, but really all over. But when you're feeling sadness, you're really feeling it centrally right here in the chest and in the torso, okay? Whereas when you're feeling anxiety, or when you're feeling disgust, it's really very visceral, right? Disgust looks very visceral to me. You're looking at the viscera here, the gut and the internal organs. Anger, however, is more in the face and chest and arms. So what that is telling me is that different emotions certainly affect our body in different ways. And you can actually take that a step farther and realize that different emotions can actually have negative effects on certain body systems. And there's a lot more information about this, and I'm not actually the best person probably to talk to you about all the different emotional things. There are other people who are better at that, but I do want you to be aware that you can research these things. Anger, for example, seems to have a negative effect on the liver. Grief has a negative effect on the lungs. Fear may have a negative effect on the kidneys. Worry may have a negative effect on the stomach. And then stress, you're looking at the heart or cardiovascular system. And the reason I want to point this out is because when someone is telling you that they have issues with liver enzymes or liver issues or kidney issues or stomach issues, there may be an underlying emotional issue that is causing that system to not work at its best, okay? And you may be surprised to find that some of the oils, for example, that ease feelings of fear also support the kidneys or the urogenital tract. Some of the oils that can help people to overcome worry also are good at supporting the digestive system, okay? So when you're dealing with a body system that's being affected, it may be that there's an emotional component that will help not only identify which oils to use, but identify how you can help that person to improve their health in that way and in that system, okay? I hope that's clear. I know we don't have questions and answers. I kind of wish we did right now, but you can ask me a question on Facebook. Okay. And of course, there are oils for that, for our emotional systems, right? You have the mood management oils, Serenity, Balance, Citrus Bliss, and Elevation, and of course, the Emotional Aromatherapy Kit, which are great for targeting those emotions and perhaps, in turn, supporting one of those body systems that you are wanting to support. Okay, just a few tips. Remember that anytime you're trying to problem solve, you're thinking, how am I going to use these oils? Aromatic, topical, internal. Those are your 3 ways. To try to determine the root of your health concern or symptom or whatever it is that you're trying to address. What is the system that is having troubles? Is it the digestive system? Is it the nervous system? Is it the skin and hair? Is it, okay? And then you're going to use your 2 charts. You're going to match the body system with the essential oil that has a property that you're looking for to get a more targeted effect, right? How do you need to support that system? In what way? Anti-inflammatory effects, anti-viral effects, et cetera, et cetera. In what way do you need to support that system? And consider that your emotions play a role in our physiological health. And your certain emotions can even have targeted effects on certain body systems. So don't ignore that emotional component. Of course, those 2 charts are not a comprehensive list. If you look in essential oil textbooks under that specific oil, you are going to see a section that says body systems affected and properties for that oil. So that the charts are not a comprehensive list, but they are going to be a really good start. Okay, so the bottom line here is that we want you to share about the oils. We want you to talk about the oils in a compliant way online especially, and practicing compliance in person as well, but mainly online. And also that there are great ways to problem solve how to help people in compliant ways by just saying, here's the body system that's affected, here's an oil that has some great properties that can support that body system or soothe that body system or provide relief. So I hope that this was helpful, and if you have questions, please feel free to ask. All right. Thank you very much.